As we rush to a close, my fellow Americans, we gathered here today to promote peace and prosperity through monetary justice. We gathered here to focus on the Fed. We were here in resolve that the Congress should enact the proposed Capital Homestead Act, which among other reforms would amend the Federal Reserve Act and reactivate its discount mechanism to encourage private sector growth linked to expanded capital ownership for all Americans. We stand here today calling upon all Americans to join us in a universe of discourse and a million citizen march on behalf of the just third way in the furtherance of the Capital Homestead Act and for immediate White House consideration of the Homeowner Equity Corporation solution to the burgeoning foreclosure crisis in America. And what of the so-called coming economic meltdown? How will Americans react if this economy collapses? Not only are international investment banks and major commercial banks losing money, but the almighty dollar is not so mighty anymore. We are at the brink of a financial crisis that will not just be financial. Economic upheaval will create crime, family disruption, and untold psycho damage to Americans. However, there is a brighter vision for an American future. Envision a future where every American has a viable capital ownership stake in a growing economy. Envision with us a future where America's moral leadership will be restored as we set an example for the rest of the world on how to achieve genuine economic democracy and justice for all. Wealth, economic power, and income gaps between the rich and the poor will shrink without present owners being deprived of their property rights. Sharing profits and control of technology, all people will become empowered, not victimized by technological change. Envision with me a future where market gluts and overproduction will be eliminated as overall supply is matched by the simultaneous creation of mass purchasing power. Enthusiastic and productive worker owners will produce goods and services of the highest quality at lower cost within corporations operating with more democratic accountability, efficiency, and equity. Envision a future where politicians will become more accountable, amen, to more economically empowered and independent citizens who will be less dependent economically on government welfare, subsidies, and income distribution, where personal, family, and community life will strengthen as more people gain greater control over their economic destinies. The environment will become healthier as capital homesteading enables Americans to fund green technologies and non-polluting hydrogen-age energy sources that in the past lacked financing for their commercialization. Envision a future with us today where the quality of education and work will radically improve as technology reduces the need for economic toil and as more people gain the time and the means to engage in lifetime learning and non-paid leisure work, enabling them to work creatively for their personal as well as the common good and the advance of civilization. And finally, envision a future with us today where a flourishing and peaceful world society would be built upon the decentralization of economic power. And as in the first American Revolution, the power of government will again subordinate itself to the sovereignty of each human person. America will then again serve as the last best hope of mankind. This is the just third way. On or be on. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Reserve of America.